Okay, so these are the following supplies that you're going to be needing for this next DIY. You're going to need two of these wiry mesh wastebasket size cans that I purchased at Dollar Tree, and they just say Essentials Wastebasket on it. And then I picked up four of these farmhouse inspired style picture frames with different sayings on them. And then you're going to be needing a ruler, a pencil, a scissors, some glue, and this is just liquid silicone, a pair of wire cutters, and um, this is optional. What I'm showing you here is that I have some acetone remover and some cotton rounds because initially I was intended upon removing the image from these frames by wiping them down with the acetone, and I did, and this is what happened. I got this really nasty film on the back, and I'm not happy with it at all. So what I opted to do, which is what I'm going to do with the remainder of the frames, is that I'm going to pop this. This is just a sheet of Pexi plastic. It's not plexiglass, it's actually plastic. So it really pops right out of the frame. It was kind of like glued in here. So I popped it out, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this as my template, so to speak, and I am going to be cutting out some of this wired mesh from the wastebasket to glue it in here. So I just wanted to show you guys that the process is pretty simple. I'm just going around the perimeter of the base here of the trash can, and I'm just clipping out that last little layer on the bottom and just going around accordingly until I get to the end, and it's going to pop out the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing around the top, and I'm going to open up the entire sheet so that I can, measure out my frame. Okay, so now I popped both the bottoms and the top off. This is the top of the can and this is the bottom, and this is what I'm left with. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to cut it down the center and open it out like a sheet. Okay, so here is that entire mesh sheet that I cut out of the wastebasket, and I was able to manipulate it just using a regular pair of shears, some scissors, and but what I did notice is that this actually has a seam side if it's showing on camera at all, and I kind of wish I would have cut up on that seam as opposed to where I cut, but anyway, that's neither here or there. Nonetheless, I did take my template, which is just this piece of plastic that I popped out of the frames, and what I'm eyeballing here is that basically what I speculated, I am going to be able to get at least two pieces of this mesh to cover the sheet from one wastebasket. So I was pretty spot on with just having to need two wastebaskets, which is perfection because I didn't want to have to be short on materials and have to go and get another wastebasket because for some reason, I don't know if it's because of the holiday season or whatever, but those trash cans are just not available in any of my Dollar Trees. So I'm glad that I'm able to be able to get the exact amount that I need with this. Now that I got all my sheets cut down to size, it's just a matter of gluing them down, and this is what they look like. They just look like little mesh sheets. So the idea is to kind of emulate chicken wire, and so now all I'm going to do is go around the perimeter of the frame and put a little beading of glue all around and glue it down. But I just wanted to show you that I took off all the wires. This came with like these little hangers on the side, on the inside, and they have the wires connected so that you can hang them on the wall. And I just removed all the wires. This is not going to bother me because you're not really going to see that. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue down the chicken wire, and then we can move on to the next step of the project. And so all I'm going to do is run the bead of glue all down the side like this, and so that I can glue my wire on. That's pretty much it. I've got all my glue on, and so now I'm just going to put the mesh and try to even it out as much as possible and hold it in place for a couple of minutes. I'm sorry, I can't talk today, until it bonds. So this is what the frame looks like with the mesh all adhered. I glued it to the back and I allowed it to dry, and I reinforced it as well so that it be nice and sturdy. But what I noticed when I was trying to put the lantern together, no matter how much I butted it up against the next one, there was still going to be this unfinished woodwork showing all around, because these frames are only finished in the front. They're not finished on the back side. So I decided, I made my own executive decision to give it a coat of white paint all around the edges before I start to assemble it and put it together, because I want this piece to be a transitioning piece that I can use all year round and not just for the holidays. I didn't want to embellish it with anything that was exclusive to, you know, just that holiday. So, and I didn't want to have to use bling or anything to finish the edges. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and give it that paint now. And this way, you know, when I glue it together, all the end pieces will be finished and I won't have that problem. Also, I'll be painting over these little eyelet hooks that it has to hang up with, so they'll be invisible and they'll, you know, go away. When I put the lantern together, you won't be able to see it. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue to finish out these edges and let the paint dry so that we can move on to the next step, which is the assembly. Okay, so for video purposes and because I have no one to assist me, I felt like it would be easier if I glued two sides at a time, kind of like a book, like an open book, and then glue the two bookends together, so to speak. So I decided to try it like that so that it wouldn't fall apart on me while I was trying to glue it together. Okay, so now I'm putting the glue where the frames meet. So if you can see on camera, I put glue all around this side, and then I did the same thing on this edge, because this is going to butt up against that frame, and that frame is going to butt up against this one. So now I just gotta kind of line them up and hold it together in place so that it could bond. And this is the final review, guys. This is this beauty in all its glory, staged and ready to go. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to be putting it yet, since I typically don't put up my tree or decorate for Christmas until after Thanksgiving. And so for right now, I'm kind of stumped as to where I'm going to put it. I'm thinking maybe it'll go underneath my tree once I have it up. Comment down below where you would display this at, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I at least inspire someone, and comment down below if you like these kind of DIYs and you want to see more where this one came from. Do not hesitate to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and share if you care. Talk to you again in the next one. Bye bye now.